But guess what? Success is a lonely road. Trading isn't easy. You learn that lesson pretty quickly. But guess what? Success is a lonely road. Success in anything worth having is tough. The only difference with trading is that we spend too long being sold the dream. We focus on the dream rather than trying to understand the reality. So let's remind ourselves. Trading isn't something you're going to become profitable with overnight. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Ignore the snake oil salesman telling you of get-rich-quick, holy grail, press score, and profit systems. They don't exist. It's a false dawn. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I told you, we're focusing on the reality now. So what makes a great trader? Someone who has grit and determination. Someone who focuses on the long term and isn't constantly searching for short-term wins. Someone who knows what they want in life and isn't afraid to work for it. Someone who can endure the long, lonely hours, working on their own, sometimes without any tangible gain. Someone who can go to bed and even if they toss and turn all night worrying about their previous day's performance, can still get out of bed the next day with a hop in their step and get back to work. You see too many traders give up too quickly when the reality hits them. We can all come out of the blocks at full speed with all the enthusiasm and conviction in the world, but there's a reason the stats show only a minority of traders end up successful. Because once things get tough, people give up. As soon as it becomes obvious that it's not smooth sailing, that you can't just cruise to the finish line, people make all sorts of excuses about why trading isn't for them. It's a scam. It's gambling. It's only for institutional traders. You need too much money. Once again, who said it was going to be easy? Training to become a success in any profession takes years of hard work. Trading is no different. It's just more accessible. We're talking about a market that exchanges trillions of dollars daily. And if you're willing to work harder than 90% of traders, you can carve out your piece of that. Just carving out your own small section can lead to the most fulfilling experience of your working life. That's what this is all about. Starting from something small, insignificant, and turning a number into something tangible. The ability to treat yourself and those closest to you to a better lifestyle. No more financial pressure, more security, more certainty. But besides that, the feeling of knowing exactly what you're doing in a challenging role. To wake up in the morning and know you've got your finger on the pulse of the entire world, the global economy that keeps everything ebbing and flowing, and you're an integral part of all of that. A knowledgeable trader, an investor, and an entrepreneur. You're part of an important group of professionals that keep the world turning. Sounds extreme? Well, guess what? It's the facts. So why should trading be so easy? The end justifies the means. We need to work hard for it. So if you had a losing day, pick yourself up and remind yourself why you're in this. If things have been tough for a while, go back to the drawing board and figure out what you've done right or wrong. If you've had a good spell, stay humble and focus on consistency. Make sure you keep your eyes on the long term and not the short-term wins. After all, this is a marathon, not a sprint, but most of all, beyond anything else, don't lose your enthusiasm and don't give up. Your story starts here. Stay dedicated. This is just the beginning.
Thinking about getting into Forex trading? Forex trading opens up a world of opportunity for those who know how to do it properly. You can experience financial freedom and reap tremendous rewards for your trading skills. Unfortunately, many programs make big promises and throw students into the trading market without the proper knowledge and expertise to succeed. Fortunately, there is a solution. Great White FX Academy is the best place to start your Forex trading journey with the tools, resources, and education necessary to help you thrive in the market. Great White FX is an online Forex training platform that provides technical training that will help you succeed. It is of the utmost importance to have a proper qualitative education to participate in Forex trading, and that is exactly what Great White FX focuses on. You can reach us on Facebook at Great White FX and Forex Educational Academy. on Instagram at GreatWhiteFX, on Twitter at GreatWhiteFX, or call us at 234-803-930-61888.
Hello. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes into the message box. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes. Okay. Okay. Good evening. You're welcome to today's daily market review with GreatWhiteFX for the 18th of September 2019. So I once again welcome you all to our class for today. So as always, we're going to start off with our scheduled fundamental news review. And to do that, we go to the Forex Factory. I prefer using Forex Factory. So to do that clearly, we go to Forex Factory. Oh, my password. That's why it always keeps. So tomorrow being the 18th, it's going to be a very, very stormy weather tomorrow. The high impact news. One thing with the FOMC tomorrow is that it kind of like causes a drag effect throughout the day on anything that has to do with dollar pair. So tomorrow you might see a bit of foot dragging tomorrow on some of the pairs. So tomorrow being Wednesday the 18th at 9:30 a.m. West African time, we have British pound CPI, then a minor news as the PPI. Then by 1:30 p.m. we have the Canadian CPI. Then till 3:30, crude oil inventories. This will affect anything that has to do with CAD. Then by 7 p.m. we have the FOMC. Then at 7:30 p.m. this FOMC press conference is going to still carry its own fireworks. Then by 11:45 we have the New Zealand gross domestic product. Then overnight, well, we have to see how tomorrow looks like before we talk of Thursday. So looking at this, I will advise you trade cautiously tomorrow. If possible, you try and avoid anything that has a USD cross in it to keep your sanity and your account, or better still, you just take a walk for your own mental sanity. So that out of the way, let's get into our charts for today. So as always, we start with the dollar index. As always, we always start with the dollar index. It gives us an idea of dollar strength because most times the directional flow of the dollar will give you an idea of if you have a risk on or risk off opportunity in the market. So looking at the dollar index, it seems to have closed bearish today. As you can see, this is a very, very bearish close on the daily. What does this portend intraday? That we might be seeing a retest of this entire zone or a break of this zone. So this area is now near resistance. As long as price does not close above 98.42, highest time frame 4 hour, that means you might still see the dollar under pressure. But the moment the dollar closes above here, then we might see it try to rally up to test this area here. You might see it try to rally up. I think I have something here. Let me see if what I have here. Okay, yes, I have a trend line in there. So we might see it try to test this trend line and this resistance zone at this top area here. So the line to watch is, and since it is in a downtrend, most times when a pair is in a downtrend, what they do is you look to sell any rally. So if you ask me, I would suggest on this dollar index, what you do is, if you trade the dollar index, that is, you just pick your fib from the high of today to the low of today. You place your fib and watch for a pullback. It gives you a pullback and it doesn't close above this area, then you're safe to take it down to either this area, 9801, or somewhere lower. So the next pair we're going to look at is gold. So looking at gold, hello, can you guys still hear me? Hello, can you still hear me? Hello? If you can hear me, please type in yes. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please type in yes. Some people are saying no audio. Please, if you can hear me, type in yes. Hello, if you can hear me, please type in yes. If you can hear me, please type in yes. Okay, so looking at gold, gold is posting width to be high, but it's still, my major internet just tripped off and I'm using my backup now. So you guys might just need to bear with me a bit. My major internet just tripped off. So I'm using my backup. Can you guys still hear me? If you can still hear me, just type in here so that I just quickly breeze through it. Okay. So looking at gold, gold still seems to be giving a bit of bearish signal, but it's not dropping. As you can see, it's still not dropping. It's still challenging this daily 13 moving average, which means that there is a possibility it might still move higher. So if we look at our intraday setup, you can see this level we marked out yesterday. You see gold spiked below it, closed back above it, and then it's at this zone now. This is another resistance zone. So the storyline here on gold is, as long as it stays above 1496.47, it has the tendency to rally towards this falling trend line. It has the tendency to rally towards this falling trend line. And you must bear in mind, the FOMC moves gold drastically. So you need to bear that in mind. But looking at the situation on the daily, it seems to be showing a kind of range setup. That's between here. But this is the first level of support, 1496.47. This is the major level of support here. And so you just need to know that for now, gold is above a resistance level. If it closes above and retests here and here serves as support, then you know it is going to move up towards here. So that is it for gold. So the next one I'll be looking at is the USD CHF. So looking at the USD CHF, this falling trend line seems to be giving it a bit of a challenge. And this horizontal resistance level here, it's more like, excuse me, it's more like a resistance zone. It's more like a resistance zone. Let me show that. Okay. it's more like a resistance zone to this stop side. So if it is able to close above, retest and holds above the zone, then you know we might see further bullish move on the USD CHF. So we also have this area here to contend with. And so how do we play this? So you can see this is what we have on the USD CHF intraday. You can see rejection, a bearish engulfing. So as long as it stays below this zone, there's a tendency it might still drop down to test this trend line. Moreover, the daily close has a wick to the high, which is not very, 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 it's not indicative of continued bullish bias, as you can see, a very, very long way to the high. So we might see a bit of a pullback towards this trend line. If this trend line fails, then you know they are moving lower to this area. But there is a little zone here. Let me draw it out. Let me map out the area. There's a little zone here. There's a little zone here. This is on the lower time frame. This zone is on the lower time frame. So it's on the lower time frame. So that's just it. So for this pair now, sorry. If it rallies up into here and gets rejected, then you might take a short position down to either here or a break below here. But overall, it's still pointing to the top side. But for now, the momentum is decreasing. And also, FOMC tomorrow might also be playing a role in it. The next pair I'll be looking at is the Euro USD. And just like I pointed out, see what I said? Hello, can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Okay. So just like I said on my review on Sunday, I said you use a fib on the weekly. As you can see, price just came to the 61.8 and immediately turned. And if you look at that on your intraday chart, that is what we have here. As you can see, that's why price pulled up from here. So now price is testing this area. If it closes inside this area, it has to use 1075 as support. 1075 must act as support if it closes inside it. Then if that happens, then we know there's a falling channel, as you can see. It closed above this falling channel, might send it higher. But if it gets rejected from this falling channel, you need to first wait for a good 4-hour close below 1075. I said that within the week, and this is what happened. Some people made money from it. So you need to be careful at this zone. If it closes in and gives you a bearish signal, do not take it except it closes outside 1075. Because if you look at it on the daily, this is a bullish move. This was just a dip and they might be continuing higher. So like I always tell my students, it's not the candle that is the important thing. The question is, where are you seeing the candle? So if you knew that this was a bearish candle and it was going into support, you will not take this trade. These are some of the things you need to be aware of. So the next one I'll be looking at is the Euro GBP. So looking at the Euro GBP, you can see it's rejecting from this area, which points to the fact that we might see a move lower on this pair. But the storyline is there's a falling channel here. Let me get rid of this area. You see this channel? See this long-term channel? It's still holding. Well, the time frame, it depends on your experience. If you're not very experienced, look for entry on 1 hour. But if you're experienced, like some people are, you can time your entry from safer 30 minutes. So if we look at this pair now, it has come down to this support. That's 88.39, and as you can see, there's a bounce. So now, as long as this man stays below this zone, this area now is a resistance zone. Here is now a resistance zone. As long as price stays below it, this area here, it might continue down. But should you see a close above this area, what do I mean by a close? Something like this, retest here, then it's moving higher. That's just what you need to be aware of on this pair. For now, it is in a downtrend. And the GBP USD, as you can see, let's go to the daily to see how the GBP USD closed up on the daily. It closed bullish. You see this level here that we pointed out, it held, as you can see. So now they now need to take out this upper resistance zone. That's what they have here, as you can see. So now the question is, if they close inside this zone is between 1.2502 to 2579. If they close inside it and give you a bearish candle formation, watch carefully. They need to close well below 2502. If they don't close below 2502 and they give you a bearish signal, watch, they might spike up, spike below, close back in, and power back up. Remember, the Euro GBP is in a downtrend. There's no reversal signal yet. So you need to be aware of that. As you can see, we gave this yesterday. This trade, assuming you took this entry here, that was what, 81 pips. If you use this, if you used this 4-hour bearish engulfing, bullish engulfing as your entry, that was what, 81 pips. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBP CHF. The GBP CHF is very, very bullish for now. It's taking out all highs. You can see it has finally cleared this area, but it's still in an upper zone. Let me see now. Let me go to the intraday chart. Yes, because what you need to know is that my charts on the intraday are drawn from the weekly and daily time frame. So I drop down to the 4-hour and trade them within the 4-hour, 1 hour and 30 minutes time frame. So you need to be aware of that. So if you're looking at the chart, the time frames are not from 4 hour. These zones are not 4 hour. Most of these zones are daily, weekly. So we need to be aware of that. So now this pair is bullish for now. The storyline is that it will remain bullish as long as 1.2369 holds. So, and you know, in an uptrend, you look to buy weakness. You look to buy weakness. So there's a possibility, you see this area, 1.2962. So we can say 1.2968, 69 to 62. Hello, can you guys still hear me? Right? My backup internet is misbehaving, please. Can you guys still hear me? Hello? Can you guys still hear me? Okay, I'm trying to be quick so I can really hurry up. So as long as this level holds, 1.2369 holds, price is going to continue higher. That's what you need to be aware of this. So does that mean you can't take this shot? You can, but if you're taking it, you need to be aware you're going against the prevailing trend. And those that are looking to buy, they are looking for cheap prices. So you can't tell when they might step in, but this might be a good area for them to step in. So the next pair we'll be looking at is USD-JPY. USD-JPY didn't do much today. Just didn't do much. It didn't do. Can see the close. It's approaching this zone that I've been saying it will get to. You can see here. So it's already at that area. Didn't do much today. So there's a tendency this man may fall back down a bit or run higher. So for now, can't say. I just can't say. But his bullish bias is still intact. This is his primary target here. They need to run up to this area. Excuse me. What's the problem? Here and here. They need to run up into this area. So they might be experiencing a bit of selling pressure here. That's why the bullish trend seems to be losing a little bit of momentum. But there is no reversal pattern to technically tell you that you're safe to take a short position and see weakness. So for now, I can't say much about the USD-JPY. I can't say much. So I wouldn't make so much comment on it. So the next pair we're moving over to is the Euro Yen. And as you can see, I've always known these pairs to be good at trapping people. As you can see, like I said, you use the weekly. Yesterday's candle closed at the 50. When they came out today, they instantly bought it up. Remember what I said? This is the line in the sand. As long as this zone is not taken out, the euro yen has the potential to still move higher. So in this pair, what you'll be looking for is looking for weakness to go long from. Does it mean you can't take a shot? Yes, if you see a valid resistance level. If you see a valid resistance level, because there's something here. There's something here. So it might pause a bit drop before moving back up. So the next pair we're going to look at is the GBP, the GB pound yen. So looking at the pound yen, also the same thing too, is very bullish, but is tackling a zone here. It needs to take out this area. If it takes out that area, we have here and here again for it to take care of. So let's see how it looks like intraday. So as you can see, that's where he's sitting at. That's where he's sitting at. Well, he may give a double top. It looks like a double top. But your double top will be confirmed as long as when you get a 4-hour close below 135.09. If you don't get a 4-hour close below 135.09, be careful, you might get trapped on this pair. So you just need to be aware of that. Because that's why you can see this arrow. I said it has gone in. If it closes, uses this area as support, he's going to move higher. But if he closes back, just wait for a little bit of retest to confirm he has resistance, then he's going to go down. So you have two scenarios, either a long position if 1.3509 holds, or a short position if 1.3509 fails. Remember, this is a major resistance from the daily time frame. So the next pair we're going to look at is the AUD USD. So looking at the AUD USD, well, price seems to drop a bit. It dropped, found support of the daily 13 moving average. So, and that is what this area was. So now, so you need to be aware of all this, because without knowing where this level is, you would have sold this candle as a break, retest, and a drop. You need to be very much aware of all this, where all these levels are. The levels are areas of vested interest. If you don't know where they are, you'll be stepping into a minefield without a map. As you can see, we spotted this level out yesterday. I said price will just drop here, and you see immediately. So now the scenario is this man, you just need to watch it here. Like I've said, as long as he stays below 68.98, he's still going to go down. But that does not mean you cannot see bullish situations. So in this case, if he gives you a bearish situation here, you can take a short position down back to this area. So that is it for AUD USD. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is Euro AUD. You can see they are just playing around this trend line from the daily. You can see bearish, then close back up. If we go to our intraday charts, very, very clearly, we marked it out yesterday. As you can see, it dropped into that zone and immediately powered back up. So now two things, it may run up here because it is closer to this area than to this lower zone. So we just can't see. For now, caution is advised because of where it currently is sitting. So that is it for this pair. This pair, you just need to be a bit careful. If you can spot your intraday resistance, then you can take the trade. But for now, I think it's at an intraday resistance. Yes, there's something here. So it might drop a bit before moving back up. So the next pair we're going to look at is the GBP AUD. GBP AUD. Looking at the GBP AUD, well, this daily trend line is giving him a bit of a challenge. So for this pair, if he gives you a close below 1.8185, you just need to watch it carefully. If you take a short position, don't stay too long in it. Because you see, I have two positions. This 1.8185 may serve as support and bounce up. Or if it breaks and retest, then it may move lower. So that is it for this pair. Then finally for today, the USD card. The USD card, if you ask me, he still has his bullish bias intact. still has its bullish bias intact. And see, it's finding support of this zone. You can see. So as long as it's above 1.3237, don't try to sell it. Except it goes back below it. But for now, it's still pretty bullish. So that is it for today's currency review. If you need to reach out to me, these are my social media handles. The most important is the Instagram. From the Instagram, on my bio, you can access the YouTube channel. You can chat with me on Telegram or WhatsApp, also on Twitter, or access the Facebook channels. The chats will be posted on Facebook and the Instagram handle, while the recording of this review will be posted on the YouTube channel. So once again, I thank you all for coming, and wish you all a beautiful night's sleep and a happy trading day ahead. Do not forget, tomorrow is FOMC. Trade with caution or reduce lot sizes. Thank you all and good night.